How's it hanging, YouTube? This is King of Feral Imps, and today I have a Kaiju Graydle deck profile. Now, I had been meaning to do this for a while, but then, stuff with the new Ritual Beast card coming out. That was a long stretch and pause for new. And then also some of the next great YuGiOh YouTuber, which, by the way, I am in at the time of recording, so I think you're still able to vote for me. I'm not completely 100%. No, yeah, they haven't put up the next one as we're recording this, so be sure to vote for me on that if you would like to, again. If by chance I'm not in it anymore while you're watching this, go ahead and still follow it, subscribe to Nim, and support whoever you would like to support, because it's a really great competition so far, and there's a lot of great talent in there, aside from me, which, I don't know, I don't have too much talent, but anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and start this deck profile. But again, before I do, you should check out my Pokemon channel if you like Pokemon. Say you hopped on for Pokemon Go, want to give it a bit more of a watch. Channel's been doing really great, and I just thank you guys for that. But I'm just going to go ahead and start this. Oh, and one last thing before we begin. You may be able to tell this isn't on my nice, beautiful iPad. This is being recorded with my webcam and my microphone. So let me know what you think of the quality of this. This just allows me to record for longer, lets me get it to my editing software quicker and upload quicker. So this may be the norm from now on, but hopefully it's still good enough for you guys liking anyway. I don't want to prolong it any further. So first off, for monsters are all the Kaijus. We've got 2 Sea Turtle, 2 Thunder King, 2 Giant Robo, 1 Spider, 1, I don't even know, Giant Umbra Horror, and then 1 Charizard here. Now, these guys are very diverse, but basically every Kaiju has the effect that you contribute one of your opponent's monsters to special summon it onto their field in face-up attack position. And then if your opponent controls a Kaiju monster, you can special summon any of them from your hand. So the main idea of this is you wanna start a Kaiju fight between you and your opponent. Mostly you're going to be giving them the weak ones. Normally Gameciel. Gameciel is the weakest at 22, or I guess you could give them the Kumungus. That's his name. They've all got interesting names, and I haven't memorized them all exactly. But your 2 big beaters are Jizukaru and Thunder King, this guy. They both have 3,300, so that's pretty hefty attack. So, summon a small one to your opponent's side of the field, bring out your big one. They do have other effects, like Gameciel can negate stuff, Jizukaru can negate stuff. He kind of gives himself an Armades effect. This negates stuff, but, monster effects when they're summoned. So, of course, they all gain these effects by removing Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field. Then this guy summons a token. This guy destroys all cards your opponent controls. So that's really good. They do have some good effects, but mostly you're going to use them for the attack stuff. These ones you could summon to your side of the field in certain situations where you want to be able to negate stuff. But for the most part, you're going to be going powerhouse with these guys on your opponent. Giving them the weaker ones, or vice versa. There are other things, like you do play Greydles in this deck, which let you take monsters, so you could even summon the big guys to your opponent's field and then just take them by running into them or triggering your Greydles' effects. The Moth one, I will say he's alright, I think, and some people play him, but I just don't have any. Changes that I would make, maybe I would up Dogoron maybe to 2. Gameciel I definitely up to 3. It's just a matter of getting them, because Gameciel is just so splashable. Sea Turtle pun intended, but they're all pretty good. One thing though, I've noticed that, I think I mentioned this really quickly, but if you have something with Kaiju counters on the field, this guy, even though he's weak, you don't really want to summon him to your opponent's side of the field, just because your opponent can negate monsters that you summon, and then they can attack. That's his effect. It's kind of a fiendish chain for a turn. So, like, if you give your opponent Kumungus and then summon Jizukaru, then, well, you're not going to be able to do anything, but it's still really good if you happen to be able to use it. They are inconsistent levels, and you can only control 1 Kaiju at a time, so you're not going to be able to exceed into this. Like, Kaijus are pretty straightforward with what they want to do. They want 1 on each side of the field, and they want a Kaiju showdown in the middle of the city. That's basically it. Again, changes can be made, but this is just what I have at the moment. That's all for Kaijus. Come on. Now for Greydles: 3 Alligator, 2 Eagle, 1 Cobra, and then 2 Slime. So they've all got different effects. So basically, the 3 main guys here, they have the effect that if they're destroyed by battle or by a card effect of either a spell, a monster effect, or a trap, they're color-coded. Oh, hit my table with this new setup. They're all color-coded by what trigger their effects. So obviously, playing 3 Alligator, because spell effects are most common, especially in this deck, because we play stuff to trigger them, Eagle at 2 because it's most common. Some people I've seen play Eagle at 3, which I definitely get. There's different things you can do that trigger the effects. And then Cobra at 1 because not so many trap effects unless you're playing your own trap effect or your own trap cards to trigger Cobra. Then you can go ahead and get the nice effect of the Snek. Their stats aren't anything special, but they're pretty interesting. Now Slime is the interesting one. He has the effect that if you control 2 Graydle cards, you can destroy 2 Graydle cards and then special summon him, and then after that you get to target a Graydle in your graveyard and special summon it. So, excuse me, it's pretty useful. So again, it is a monster effect, so you can trigger Eagle off of Slime. That you do have a Graydle spell card that you can easily get rid of. So summoning him, you can tribute an Eagle, tribute something else. Eagle's effect will activate, and then you can take an opponent's monster, and then he'll let you special summon something else, say like your Gator or your Snek. And then with him, since he's a level 5 tuner, you can go into a level 8 Synchro, which the Graydles do have one of their own, so that's basically the plays you want to make. Slime Jr. is not out yet currently, but you're going to want to add some of those in once that finally does come out, but currently this is a fine build, this is a fine numbers. Again, you know, different builds I've seen are playing 2 Gator and 3 Eagle. I'm just playing 3 Gator because I want to max out on the effect that I can very easily trigger. That's it for monsters, and that finishes up the Graydles as well. Now for spells, we have 3 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, 3 Graydle Impact, 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Magic Planners, and yeah, I'll hold off on the others. Let's talk about these ones for now. So Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, this is a crazy effect. It's when you activate it, you destroy as many cards on the field as possible. Then you summon 1 Kaiju to each side of the field. You get to choose them, of course. So obviously what you're going to want to do is, like the picture here says, summon a weak one to your opponent's side of the field, summon a strong one to your side of the field. Normally you'll be going, obviously, Gamma Seal, Jizukaru. It is, you know, it's basically that. Which is pretty cool. This card, it's pretty much a dark hole, but it destroys, you know, everything on the field. So it's really crazy. And then, you know, you get to summon the Kaijus and monsters that you want. So it's just a really fun card. It does have the effect that if it's in the graveyard during your turn, except the turn that that this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard to add a Kaiju card from your deck to your hand. So it's very useful in getting more stuff. So this card is just amazing. Activate, destroy everything, summon 2 Kaijus, and then during your next turn you can banish it, take another Kaiju, and then, you know, you have a lot of stuff to continue adding Kaijus once you get stuff rolling. Graydle Impact is another great card. During your end phase, you can add a Graydle card from your deck to your hand, or is it card or monster? I don't even know, but obviously you're going to be using it to add a monster. Graydle, you can, yeah, Graydle card. Wow. And that was bad. That was real impromptu. But go ahead and activate it. You're pretty much going to add whatever you need. Mostly, first turns, you want to add Eagle, or I guess you want to add Alligator, because you can go ahead and probably get their effects triggered. And then once you've got stuff set up, you can go ahead and add your Slime. But for the most part, Alligator and Eagle are the first ones you're going to get. It does have the other effect that you can target 1 Graydle card you control, as well as 1 card your opponent controls, and destroy them both. So obviously it's a spell card, so it triggers Alligator's effect because it being a spell, so you get to destroy 1 card your opponent controls, and then you get to take Gator. So it's kind of like a little Scrap Dragon-ish thing, but you can only use each of those effects once per turn. So like you activate it during your end phase, add Alligator, and then say on your next turn, you know, summon Alligator, pop Alligator with that. You can't add one to during your end phase. So it's pretty limited in that sense, but just it's a good way to get Graydles to your hand, and then you know, destroy them, trigger the effects. It is a card, and Slime does say that it just needs to destroy a card, so you can go ahead and destroy Impact. Say you have that's another reason why I guess you'd want to add Eagle with Impact. Say during your first end phase, add Eagle, and then say you like draw into a Slime, or you already had Slime. Go ahead and normal summon Eagle, then you have Impact, and then you can go ahead and destroy them both for Slime. Slime will trigger Eagle. You won't have anything else in your graveyard to summon with Slime, unless you already sent one there, which kind of brings me to this Mystical Space Typhoon. Obviously, I don't have Twin Twisters right now because I'm extremely budget, just digging out what I have, or again, just playing a deck full of commons and rares. But you'd want this to be Twin Twisters. MST works fine just for now. And then lastly, 2 Magic Planner, because I'm playing a decent amount of continuous traps. and some that I would want to get rid of or turn off. So it just helps with that. Now, really, these should be Max Cs, but Max C, I don't want to shell out $12 for a single card. So Magic Planner is a good compromise. But obviously, if you have the money, just play a Max C. That's what I've been playing online and been testing with. And then for the last spells, two YuGiOh Waterfront, a Terraforming, and a Kaiju Files. Now, YuGiOh Waterfront has the effect that every time a card is sent to the graveyard, place one Kaiju counter on it. The maximum is 5, and then you can go ahead and use the effect that if it has at least 3 counters on it or more, then you can go ahead and just once per turn add a Kaiju card from your deck to your hand. So it comes in handy. So basically, activate this early, stuff gets sent to the grave, start building counters on it, and then your Kaijus can go ahead and remove those counters to activate effects. I'm playing 2 Waterfront, or 2 of the Field Spell and 1 Terraforming, just because, like, honestly, this deck theory works out. If you're thinking of, playing 3 copies of a Field Spell or 2 in Terraforming, 2 in Terraforming works out because, obviously, say you draw, like, Terraforming basically just equals one of your Field Spells. So if you draw into Terraforming first, then hey, that's great. You Terraforming into your Field Spell, and then you deck thin a little more. Kind of, sort of an upstart theory going there, but obviously, again, it helps you not draw dead. Because, I mean, if you're playing 3 Field Spells, the chances will be that you'll have the Field Spell active, and then you'll draw into another one that you don't need, and you're like, oh well. Especially one like this that keeps counters on the field. You don't want to have multiples of it because you can't replace it. I mean, you can discard it with, say, like Twin Twisters if you're playing that, but it just doesn't work. Then Kaiju Files. Kaiju Files has the effect that every time a Kaiju monster is special summoned, you place a counter on this card. Also has the effect that you can go ahead and you can destroy a Kaiju monster and then special summon a Kaiju monster with a different name from the deck, so to the controller's field. So it lets you like swap out Kaiju. So I mean, it can come in handy. It also has the effect that you can send it to the graveyard with 3 counters to add 1 Kaiju card from your deck to your hand. So it comes in handy with that. But like honestly, just 1 because it's more of a it's a counter holder basically, because the Kaijus, they can remove counters from anywhere on the field. So just having 1, 2, 3 different spells to hold counters, maximum max 5. I think that's 5 and 3. So it comes in handy with being able to hold counters, and that's all for spells. Now for the traps, very simple stuff. Solemn Warning, those things. Let's see, Grand Horn of Heaven and Quaking Mirror Force. Obviously online I've been testing Solemn Warning and then Solemn Strike. Strike is just amazing and you should have it. I haven't checked it since the price drop, but obviously just play Strike instead of these. Honestly, this should be an Air Force, if at all. I'm just testing it out. Or if at all I'm using something instead of Strike. After that, Continuous Trap, Skill Drain, Vanity's Emptiness, Kaiju Interrupted Slumber, Remove Brainwashing, and Call of the Haunteds. So all of these have different effects. Let's see. Kaiju Capture Mission does help you gain Kaiju counters. It has a neat little. You can go ahead and remove Kaiju counters from it you can set 1 Kaiju monster face down and then place a counter on it. Holds a max of 3 counters. You need Kaiju counters obviously for effects. But it does have the effect that if your opponent destroys it, you can draw 2 cards. So it's pretty nice. If at all, you can go ahead and ditch it with Magic Planter. Skill Drain. All you really need is, your Graydle monsters, their effects resolve in grave, I guess aside for Slime. And then, some Kaijus, you don't always need their effects, you just kind of want to use them as beat sticks. Or you'll have your opponent's monster, which you just want to use as a beat stick. So, Skill Drain works. Vanities works to stop stuff. Again, with Magic Planner, you can turn it off. Remove Brainwashing. Now, originally, when Kaijus were a thing, you'd want to play 3 of these. Go ahead and tribute one of your opponent's monster for a Kaiju, like say Jizukaru. Activate this. This returns the control of every monster back to the original the owner, basically. So sack your opponent's monster for this. Remove Brainwashing. You get it back. You got a nice 33 beater. So it comes in handy in that. But again, I'm only playing 1 because now that you're mixing it with Greydles, Greydles just pretty much take everything and they kind of mess up with Greydles. But 1 is still fine for now. Again, you can turn it off with Magic Planner. Let's see, the Call of the Haunteds. They're just to help get things back out. You can go ahead and say summon a Kaiju with Call of the Haunted because they don't have restrictions for special summons, really. You can even normal summon these if you want. But of course, say one interesting thing, your opponent activates MST on your Call of the Haunted. You can go ahead and chain it and then activate to summon your Gredos Snek, and then When everything resolves, it will be destroyed by a trap effect, so you can go ahead and trigger a Snek's effect and take one of your opponent's monsters. So it comes in handy, again, if you exceeds with whatever you call the Haunted, or if it sticks around through stuff like that. Again, Magic Planner comes in handy. That's it for the traps, and that's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, and if you guys know me at all, if I'm talking about a deck that I'm working on or playing in real life, the extra deck I normally tend to skip. Really all you need, that's all you need. Greydle Dragon. Greydle Dragon is something exclusive to the Greydle as well. I mean, you just need an Aqua Tuner to summon it, so really, you know, it comes in handy because, again, it's built for Greydles. Now, it has the great effect that when it's summoned, you can destroy cards on the field equal to the number of Greydle monsters, not Greydle monsters, of Aqua monsters that were used for its Synchro Summon, so that's an easy 2 right there, right off the bat. It also has the effect that if you control it and it's destroyed by battle or by card effect, then you can go ahead and target one water monster in your graveyard and special summon it, so it kind of replaces itself, brings out, you know, more Greydles to go ahead and get their effects. I mean, like, for the rest of the extra deck, I just kind of scrambled together, like, just play a bunch of rank 8s, really, and then, play a bunch of level 8s and then rank 3s, I guess, whatever. It's just what this is just what I have on hand, but so far as I've been testing online, I only ever summon Greydle Dragon, if at all. Well, okay, fine, you know, maybe an Archfiend Dragon, or start a Spark Dragon, but obviously I don't have those at the moment, but I'd like to get some. Let me know what you guys play in your extra decks down below, if at all, and let me know if you even go into the extra deck, because so far I haven't been going into it so much, really, to talk about it so much, and even with not owning a lot of cards. I mean, have you seen this deck profile? No Twin Twisters, no Maxis. I mean, oh my gosh, get out of here, Kofi. Anyway, that's been it for this Kaiju Graydle deck profile. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Do you think I know how to play this deck at all? Well, okay, fine. I know how to play it because obviously I'm owning people on YuGiOh Pro as Ted Cruz Gaming, but I mean, you know, obviously any suggestions you have, let me know. This is what my deck profiles are all about. Talk about what I do, give you some brief explanations if I can, and I take your feedback, and boy do I take it. Anyway, yeah, just give me suggestions. Let me know what you're playing, if you can play it with a little more monetary funds. What choices have you made? Oh, okay, best thing. Which of these is your favorite? Out of either the Kaiju or the Greydle, which of these is your favorite? Because honestly, I really like these cards just based on the looks alone. Anyway, again, I do want to remind you, keep up to date with the next great YouTuber, whether I'm in it or not, whether the person you think should win the entire thing is in it or not. Go ahead and, you know, keep up to date with it. It's a fun thing, and this is going to be outdated like in a few months, but hey guys, next great YouTuber is fun, as we're experiencing it right now. Also, do check out my Pokemon channel if you enjoy Pokemon at all. Things are going really, really great there. One of my videos just blew up recently, so it's really fun over there. Lastly, let me know what you think of this brand new setup. Hopefully everything turned out fine and I didn't waste 20 minutes on something where the sounds absolutely terrible, but hopefully I can salvage something anyway. I don't know. It probably just works out a lot better, but I just got to work on not hitting things and bumping into things. But again, if you enjoyed the content, remember to subscribe. Also leave a like and a comment to show your support. This has been King of Frail Imps, guys. Have a nice day. It's Friday night, Saturday morning for you guys probably. Enjoy your weekend, guys.